I wish I could have some candy and have some fun, but I'm alone. I'm in a new place. I'm sad.
How's it going, everybody? This week has been a little different than most. There hasn't been a whole lot of activity outside of like Tofiachu getting kicked out of her hotel room. But there's one thing that's going on right now that has kind of caught my attention, and I thought, well, everyone's got to know about this because it's Shanny and Rev, the dynamic duo, the two lolcows that needed to be with one another because as much as they like to preach their faith, I really feel like they're a match made in hell. They've truly earned one another, whether it be from feigning destitution or treating their loved ones like complete and utter trash. I mean, each and every one of them, to using their viewers as open wallets. Shanny and Rev just aren't good people. They're one of the worst you could see. But something happened to them, and you know what? It's kind of a shame if it's true, because I have to say this right now. This is possibly just another way to get sympathy. Even in the bottom of Shanny's post, she says, "This is a tragic loss. It's a time of loss, everybody. Shanny no longer has her butt wiper. This is really serious." Her and Rev apparently broke up, and she makes it just about as sketchy as possible. She knows she's an unreliable person. Her entire history is filled with her just being a degenerate homewrecker, so like no one trusts her. Every single person you hear that talks about her mom or dad's like, "Don't trust Shanny, she's gonna lie to you." So she pops up on screen and is like, "Listen, I broke up with Rev, but I can't have my face cam on. I don't sound like I'm in complete utter distress like you would imagine Shanny for Christ would." I mean, think about it. Apparently she could not function without Rev, but she doesn't sound too worried about it. Like, the literal only thing that makes me think that this is real is the fact that Shanny is talking to dudes on the live stream, and she's like making comments, making fun of Rev. And even if Rev was supposed to be quiet, sitting in the background, just hoping to God he gets a little bit more peanut butter and almonds to enjoy himself on, he would probably sketch out. He would crash out completely, start freaking out on the donos, telling Shanny this wasn't worth it, it was all a lie. And we also have to consider this has been going on for weeks, like months almost, that Rev has been getting incredibly drunk and saying, "You know what, Shanny, you ruined my entire life." And he's not wrong there, she really did. He could have just sit alone for his 40s, his 50s, I don't know if Rev would have made it that much longer, and enjoyed his Sega Genesis and just withered away like he wanted to. But no, he found Shanny for Christ, and she spent all of his mom bucks, and now he's left with nothing except a house that his uncle gave him. So Rev, I guess, finally was like, maybe take it with some grains of salt, said, "Time for you to get out, Shanny," and I'm serious this time, like no kidding.
I would really prefer if you would be quiet.
Let me just say this. I'm not showing my face right now because of privacy concerns. I don't have a proper backdrop or a camera, really. But I am trying my best to get my life back together. I'm in a safe place, I want to let people know. Jason's in a safe place, I want to let you know. Well, really, you know where he is. And you probably can reason why we broke up. He was getting sick of the nonsense that's been basically my whole life, and he said I should leave. He doesn't like, he was like, "Fuck the internet, fuck everything, fuck you." He was just, you know, angry about the whole situation. I'm just doing the best I can right now, but I am in a good place. I'm well taken care of. I'm gonna go and, you know, get myself better and become super thin, and I'm gonna live my life, 'cause I have to. Like, I have no reason why. Not like, you know, can people just mutually break up without, like, I don't want to answer anything too personal, you know? I just don't. you know, all I want to do is move on with my life because I have to.
Shanny's really taking no face, no case to the extra level right now, and it's kind of reasonable. You might understand that Rev in his drunken stupor kicked Shanny out super fast, like she couldn't get a camera or anything like that. But then again, you also got to consider that Shanny's like 500 pounds, like not even a joke, a kid, anything like that. Like Shanny weighs a whole lot, so she can't really move that fast. She's got to get all of her belongings. She's probably got a lot of time to think about it while the process is going. More than likely, Rev did 95 to 99% of the moving, you know, if he was filming, if it even happened, of course. But are you guys noticing something that you would definitely imagine Shanny would be expressing right now? It would be complete and utter fear. We all knew that when Shanny for Christ finally got kicked out of Rev's house, she knew it was game over. I mean, a lot of us thought it was game over because the way she made it seem that Rev had to do every single thing for her. She was just completely helpless. And now maybe the Ozempic is helping a little bit. Of all people who don't deserve Ozempic, it might be her. For someone so crazy and unappealing, she has got a free ride just about every single time in her life. And if this is also true, you gotta think about how Rev is feeling right now. He has gotta be feeling like the biggest dummy boy. For 7 years, 7 years I think it is, that he gave away pretty much every single belonging of his to keep Shanny going. And he got her to the point that she could no longer move. He had to wipe for her, he had to carry her around, well, not carry her around the house, help her up onto her walker, push her around Walmart if they even had a little bit of money to go to the store. I mean, think about all that Rev did for Shanny. But when it's time to move out, Shanny's cool, she's fine. She's like, yeah, you know, I gotta get up and use the bath. I can, guys, I can do it now. I can just see Reverend right now sitting at home spying on Shanny's live stream, and as soon as he hears that, his face just goes completely red. His hand starts squeezing on that Jack Daniels bottle, about to snap every bone in it, until he comes to the complete and utter realization that he has been played for a fool for years. And you know what? I don't think it could happen to a better person, you know. Just think about all that he's done. This would be the ultimate cherry on top of the cake, you know.
He was going in one direction, I was going in another direction. He wanted videos his way, I wanted videos my way, and it just didn't work out. It just was like too much to take for him. Oh my god, I was talking about the relationship and I said we. Now you guys, just because you heard it from someone, you're gonna mention the we over again. Okay, I know the people I should ban on my channel. Thanks for telling on yourselves. They're gonna make fun and make up shit. What's my favorite thing about being single now? I don't have to hear the noise. I don't have to hear his constant talking and bitching all the time. I think that's the best thing about not being single. What's the plan now, moving forward? Exactly. Maybe I'll go to college or something. It's been about a week or so. I don't know how long it's been. It's been just, yeah, he would constantly gaslight me, wouldn't he? To tell you the truth, I've never actually been alone in my life, you know. I went from my parents' house to a husband's house, you know, then had kids, and then, you know, went to another husband's house. I mean, it's just like, now I'm alone. I've never had that, ever.
There we go. If this is legitimate, this is like the main reason this happened. Now you see, Shanny and Rev, they messed up another channel. They squandered another one because they just can't help themselves from being, well, not the brightest people on the block. They always find a way to mess something up. So I imagine Rev, he was sitting there getting hammered, just brewing in his anger, and he's looking over at Shanny for Christ, just seeing the money drip off of her, and he's like, she's done ruined another one of my channels, she's done ruined my mommy bucks, you know, I just can't stand this woman anymore. And it's just so funny. It's like, of all the things that finally get to him, it's the loss of like their 15th channel. That's what finally breaks the camel's back. You wouldn't think it's all the other situations she's drug you into. No, this one, the fact that Rev can't get online and preach his nonsense to like 15 people who actually care, and then like 80 or so people who are just there to mess with them. It makes no sense why you would want to drag yourself back into that situation. Like, and if it's true of what Shanny was saying, you know, besides the getting thin part, that's just probably not going to happen, people. We can put a poll in it, and if you're betting against me, yeah, I'm all in. I'm all in. But that the relationship was ruined because of the internet, why would that be the first thing you come back to, like both of you? I'm pretty sure Rev did his own stream, but it was just like him, I'm just checking up on you guys. I want you guys to know that I'm A-okay. And it's like, yeah, Rev, we could imagine that if you was doing fine with Shanny, you would be doing like 10 times better without her. Think about all the extra food, all the extra income that you would have. There's no doubt about it. We know you're doing better. It's just like, how are you going to blame the internet for all of your problems, but then come to him to fix all of your problems at the same time? It just doesn't make any sense. And Shanny's over there having her own mental conundrums. Like, you really think you're going to go back to school? Aren't you like 40-something years old, Shanny? You're just going to start a brand new career? You've shown tons of motivation throughout all of your ventures. Like, obviously, she's mainly interested in becoming a big YouTube star, or just like hand in hand with Feudy Beauty. I don't know why that's her goals, but that seems to be what she's shooting for. So how in the world do you think, from YouTube, your main passion that you put barely any effort into, you're going to go to school and come up with some career? It'll just never happen. What you're doing right now is probably the peak of your existence. If you never find anyone else, all that complaining you was doing about Rev talking all the time, you won't even be thinking about that. All you're going to be doing is missing people. Like, in general, you pushed everyone away. And trust me guys, if this is all 100% legitimate, in the second video you see of Shanny, you're going to see that she is regretting her talking about all of the talking and complaining Rev used to do, because that was the only thing in the world she had that was slightly entertaining. Now she's just sitting there alone, having to go to the bathroom herself. You know, it's a real miserable existence.
How is Ozempic working? It's working pretty good. I'm losing weight, so. You heard that Jason was hitting up other streamers? Probably. Looking to tell you the truth. Is he moving to Norway? Oh my god, I don't, well, he'll regret dumping me if he's with her, I'll say that. I'm not a lunatic like her. Did I get my wheelchair and walker? No, he left it there at the place, so I'm waiting for it to for someone to help me get it. It wasn't a blowout fight. He was angry, I was angry. And we just decided for our own mental health, it's probably best to just quit. And we did. Girl, always try the best. Nothing worse than a man that won't work. Yeah, exactly. And I tried. Not like I didn't try.
Yeah, Shanny, I'm pretty sure Rev would completely regret his decision if he actually got the Norway girl. It doesn't seem like that's the girl he was talking to for at least a month that you caught him up with, who he was telling, oh, I'd so much rather be with you. My life here is so awful. Could you please just come in and swoop me? Take me to that cold land where I would just chill right to the bone in a matter of seconds. Just come on, please. But instead of Norway, he had his own igloo that he ended up having to shave his head and write a big A on his forehead as well. I'm not sure if that was the same person or the same situation, but you know, does it really matter? This would be the life Rev would be returning to. So like, it's absolutely insane that Shanny, of all people, we all know her history and what she's done to Rev, and be like, yeah, he would be way worse off with her. That girl right there is insane. Like, what? And the last clip of that video is the one where I'm thinking they might have actually broke up, because I really couldn't see Rev just sitting there while Shanny's laughing about him never going to work, because for some reason Rev is really adamant that he's a hard-working man, that he has got it all figured out. He's just got to find the job that he can go to when he wants, whatever time he wants, and can leave whenever he wants, and isn't too strenuous. Good luck finding that job, but that's what he's seeking out. So when Shanny's just sitting there laughing about his employment, I just don't think Rev could take it. I think he would just jump up, start freaking out on Shanny, maybe get a can of beans or two chucked at his head, you know, something like that, and then we'd have the real breakup. But yeah, guys, that's just one of the small things that make me think this is potentially 100% facts. But then again, always think it's Shanny for Christ and Rev. They will do anything for some pity dollars.
You're in the mood as well, Vixen? Yeah, I'm just sick of it. Well, that's nice of you, Brian Oblivion. Care to put some money in my Cash App? That would make me very happy for Halloween. Since, you know, you pretty much scammed me. Anyway, in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m., and just breathed in the phone. Because this would have been me and Chris's 13th wedding anniversary. And now I'm sad about that. I don't know. I certainly wouldn't be with Chris because he cheated on me. He ruined everything, man. Nah, I wouldn't want him again. He'd cheat on me. Cheat on me once, he'll cheat on me again. No. Can I have some ranch, Aries? You can have all of me if you want. Oh, I'm not gonna give any advice on a good man. I'm horrible at that. Oh, I'm not giving out dating advice other than which men to avoid, which is pretty much all of them.
Isn't Shanny like the coolest streamer ever? Every time she gets online, she definitely has a reason and a purpose. It's definitely just not to sit there and say, hey, you didn't donate to my PayPal correctly. You scammed me. You are a loser. But it's like, no, Shanny, it doesn't really matter if he scammed you. Like, yeah, if you was like a good, honest person and people were just messing with you like that, like you never asked for donations and someone was like just playing with your head a little bit, maybe you are in a dire situation, yeah, that is pretty messed up. But everyone knows you. Like, if this is the situation you're in, like you're broke up with Rev and you're staying in some mysterious location, this might be the one time in your life where you actually needed donations and people not to mess with you, but because of all your past history, every action you've taken beforehand, they just don't trust you, and they never will. They could see Rev and you live streaming in 2 separate locations and they'd be like, something's fishy about this, and they have every right to believe that. And to the person who's calling Shanny at 3 in the morning and just heavily breathing into the phone, you should probably find a better pastime to do at 3 in the morning. But in all honesty, guys, it might just be one of the, like, what, 8 or 9 scorned ex-lovers, just people's life she's ruined, just getting super hammered. It's probably Reverend. It's probably Reverend. Just getting drunk, calling her at 3 in the morning, breathing heavily, just thinking of all the mean things they want to say to her, but it's just too much, so they just can't get it out, and they end up hanging up every night. But one day, one misty night, Shanny for Christ is going to get the phone call that's going to rock her world. And if that guy Mike in the chat keeps it up, you know what Shanny's looking for. If she actually left Rev, man, you're just the next victim. Good luck to you. I don't know what kind of game you're playing, but I think it's the wrong one. You're going to be the next guy calling her at 3 in the morning, breathing heavily into the phone.
Here's my advice about relationships. Monogamy is for the birds, and I have 99 problems, but a due date one. Well, what's my secret to not showing any BPD rages? Not go on stream when I'm angry. Drop the chicken dinner and get with a winner. Well, Mike, you still haven't, like, DM'd me or anything, so I don't know if you're a winner or not. Well, Mike, I don't want an unsolicited dick pic until I'm, like, ready to take that step, you know what I mean? Get solicited then? Oh my god, I'm not gonna rush into anything. How's the weight loss going? Oh, it's going. Yeah, you can order me some McDonald's, Brian. Good. Give me some poison. I really appreciate it. How about putting my PayPal back in the positive? You want to see me crip walk? What the fuck is that? What is a crip walk? I wish I could get some wine. That's what I really want. I want some wine. And just wine while having wine. You know what I mean? Had a horrible day. I wish my mom would stop haunting me. What kind of wine? A nice sweet red. Like a Merlot. Merlots are my favorite, red feather. Because I was crying all day. And being an emotional wreck. And trying to cheer myself up, but I was all alone, so that didn't help.
Yeah, let's ask Shanny for Christ how not to rage on stream. It's not like she's the poster girl for it or anything. I mean, every time Shanny gets a little bit emotional or under the influence of anything, one of the first things she wants to do is jump on stream. And I think it should be like driving a car. If you're a little too emotional, you're a little too angry, probably don't get behind the wheel unless you're forced to. If you're under the influence of anything, just don't get behind the wheel at all, like under no circumstances. But most people don't follow those rules. I mean, it's kind of hard to follow when you have such great influences like King Cobra JFS and World of T-shirts. They really show you how to be a stand-up citizen, don't they? You know, those are the people Shanny for Christ should look to. They're fine being single, all they do is just drink the day away, and they look no better for it. But do you think that really matters to either of those two? No, they're hammered drunk, and if Shanny's gonna be single the rest of her life, well, maybe she needs to give it a shot too, because I don't think any of those husbands are coming back. Rev, he might come back. The children, they're not coming back. They know what they came from. They're like, I've been through that enough. I ain't going back to that hell. And for such a sick woman, someone who's so down bad, it's really surprising that you want to drink wine. Or the fact that you're going to disgrace your mother like that, claiming that she's haunting you. Like, normally when people think they're getting haunted, it's normally for a bad reason. It's not the good ghosts. They're normally messing with you in some way or another. And for Shanny the Christ, I really do believe that's what she's thinking about, because her and her mother, they've never had the best relationship. Even though it was like just like a month ago, she was crying on the internet about how much she missed her because, you know, her PayPal was, you know, in a very similar spot as it is now in this video, all the way in the red. That's like the only reason she ever brings up her mother, unless it's for bad purposes. Like if Shanny for Christ is just talking about her with no strings attached, it's just slander the entire time, her and her father. But I almost got off topic and forgot about the wine thing. It's like, Shanny, like you claim you have all these mental instabilities. Like if I had mental problems, I wouldn't want to be drinking, like purposely changing the way my mind works. It just sounds like a natural disaster waiting to happen. And you know how you are. You've been sitting there watching Rev drink for months on end, and you've been claiming he's oh so sick and he's got a problem. And it's like you guys don't actually focus on the real thing. He could stop drinking anytime he wants to, but he's choosing not to and just claiming that he's sick off of it. Don't you think this is probably how you'll turn out? Just scraping together any dime you can for some fast food, but not McDonald's. She's way too good for that. She wants like the $40 sandwiches, the $30 sandwiches. You know, you'll be down in those and drinking wine the entire time. Like, I could totally see that happening, but, you know, Shanny for Christ, she doesn't look into the future. She doesn't care about the future. It's all about right now. And those are typically some of the worst people you could ever come across.
If she can crip walk, she won't get disability. Well, what the fuck is a crip walk? Let me see this. Like, I don't... You'd love to see me moonwalk? I don't think I'm possible. I don't even know how to do that. Thank you, Mike. You're single, right? You're not married, right? Because I would hate for you to say this as a married man, because I don't want to be that. I'm a good person. I don't fuck around with people who are with someone else, man.
Out of anyone I've ever seen ask Shanny questions, they never ask the right ones. It's all about her relationships, the boring stuff, things no one cares about. But that one good saint in the comment section asking if Shanny can crip walk, that just put the most hilarious picture in my mind. Just imagining her even attempting to get up and do it. You know, we talk about crash outs, but it's more in a metaphorical term. That would be the literal definition of a crash out. She would look like one of those dummies in the cars. You guys know what I'm talking about? And I can tell that question resonated with a few other people, because then everyone's like, well, what dance moves can Shanny for Christ do? What is she capable of? And the more important question is, what would be the funniest one to see her do? And you know what? I think if she could somehow manage to pull a moonwalk off, I think we'd all have just a little bit more respect for her. You know, if we all got a baseline of 0, possibly in the negatives like her PayPal, you know, it might jump up to like negative 49% or negative 49,000, you know, it's really low numbers when it comes to Shanny for Christ. But I guess that's enough for me today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, and if you haven't already, leave a sub, follow the socials down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.